We're headed to the Osa Peninsula, one of the most biologically intense places on Earth.
Oh my gosh, spider monkey. I just stumbled upon what I think is a boa constrictor. There's a fish, fake fish.
For the next 5 days, we're gonna be surviving the jungle with only this backpack.
Literally where the jungle meets the ocean. Oh! This is exactly why I came to Costa Rica. Que muy bonito. Woo! Just caught my hand on a sea urchin. Oh my gosh. Just keep pushing, because look at this beautiful gorge. Yoo! We made it. That's a pain. I am really starting to feel the effects of backpacking just on day 3 here in Costa Rica. All right, my man.
Yeah, you're welcome, man.
Thank you.
Next person.
So life can be quite the adventure sometimes. Currently, I'm sitting here in Fort Lauderdale International Airport, and in about 30 minutes, I'll be taking off the runway here and headed 1,500 miles to the southwest, landing in San Jose, Costa Rica, where we're gonna be spending the next 5 days fishing, backpacking, and exploring. So this will be my first time legitimately outside of the country, my first ever backpacking trip, my first ever camping trip, and we're doing this all solo with limited Spanish knowledge. So believe it or not, I do not have a lot of anxiety about this trip. I could not be more stoked to get out of the country and just explore the beautiful country of Costa Rica and all it has to offer. So, pura vida.
Attention at the terminal, this is the final individual boarding call for Sterling Flight.
The adventure begins. Costa Rica, baby. This is nuts.
National securities, you have to request and fill out the respective form found in the image.
This is so cool.
Puerto Jiménez será de 50 minutos.
Well, here we are. No fancy terminals this time, no international airport, just got dropped off on the runway here. And well, we're on our own for the next 5 days. So I gotta scout the map real quick, see where we're gonna hike to. And yeah, we're here, we're doing it. This is the most civilization we're gonna be seeing for the next almost week or so. This small town here of Puerto Jiménez. We sincerely just got airdropped onto the edge of the rainforest with nothing but this backpack for the next 5 days. So we're here on the Osa Peninsula, which by landmass takes up just 1/100,000th of the Earth's surface, but species-wise accounts for 3.5 species across the entire planet. So that just goes to show just how densely packed all the wildlife is here. As surreal as this experience is, however, gotta keep my head on a swivel at all moments. Safety is paramount down here, and Me being from way outside, I don't know what I could run into in terms of animals, people. As long as I keep a safe distance and respect everything, shouldn't have a problem and should have a pretty fantastic trip. So each day I plan to hike anywhere from 6 to 12 miles, hiking to our next fishing spot, our next camping destination. And our first hike today is gonna take us about 6 to 8 miles from Puerto Jimenez to a spot called Tamales River, Tamales Beach. We're gonna have to find some water source at some point today. We're gonna have to find some spot to lay camp. For the next 2-3 hours, we are gonna be walking down this road here in the middle of the Osa Peninsula, and definitely gonna keep a lookout for snakes, jaguars, you know, all those fun things.
No way. Check them out.
That did not take long at all. Our first interaction with the scarlet macaw, one of the coolest species I think that's down here, but there's over 600 species of birds down here. There's another one and another one. But yeah, those guys, hopefully we'll see them up a little bit closer later, but they have some really brilliant colors on them. And that is just awesome to see them in the wild. I mean, even the trees here are brilliantly colored. That's just unreal. Just unreal. Looking at all this structure and life that comes out of one tree. Shout out my friend in the mini truck there. Just got offered a ride down this road, but I'm pretty sure we got like 2 more miles to go. And I really don't need to go too much farther. As much as I'll probably appreciate a ride later in this backpacking journey. Right now, I'm just enjoying being outside, looking at all the wildlife. Oh my gosh, spider monkeys. Wow, wow.
Look at them up there. Look at these little guys, huh? Look at this guy saying what's up. They're so curious.
Those little monkeys were so curious, totally checking me out while I was checking them out. What a cool, unique encounter with our first mammal species of the trip. I've got a book in my backpack that'll tell me all the species I'm running into today, and I'll definitely make some time to study that once we set up camp later. But yeah, it seems like every 30 minutes, every 20 minutes, I run into a new species that we can see at least. I'm sure buried in the jungle there is just an infinite density of new species to check out. It's hot out here and I am sweating absolute buckets in this humidity. So already ran through our airport water here, which was quite the blessing, but now we've got to resort to some native Costa Rican water here, courtesy of our life straw. So oh, it's pretty cool. There we go. So water is pretty clear, shouldn't have to worry too much about sediments in there. And this is definitely a freshwater stream as it's coming straight out of the mountains. But this little life straw here is going to filter out any pathogens or bacteria. I mean, most of them at least, as well as any sediment that could be in there, microplastics. And should keep us hydrated the next couple days. So going to refill this guy whenever we get low, whenever we cross the stream. Staying hydrated is definitely going to be key out here. What's up, guys? Damn. Look at these freaking cows. Whew. La playa, finalmente. Look at the size of this anthill. Unreal. These guys are just working. Look at that.
Those look like fire ants earlier, but judging by their behavior, they might as well be leaf cutter ants. Just unreal. Whoa. Everywhere you look is just something new, incredible. But this is insane. Wow. But check out this beach. Oh my God. This is exactly why I came to Costa Rica. What an unreal beach out here. This is just so wild out here. I mean, I'm literally on a beach it took me 4 hours to hike to. Saw some really cool animals on the way here, macaws, monkeys. But this is my home here on the beach, and this is just beautiful. We're literally sitting in a tropical fjord. There's mountains right there that drop right off into, I believe this is Gulf de Dulce, something like that. Wow, it is just incredible. I mean, this sand, volcanic, silty sand here is not black, but it's pretty damn dark. And this backdrop is surreal. I mean, we've got jungle just as far as the eye can see. I mean, this is just an absolute treasure, and the weather could not be better. It is probably 87 degrees right now. Bright sunny skies, very, very light onshore wind. Water temp's gotta be in the 80s. I mean, this is incredible. So, obviously I wanna do some fishing. I mean, this is a fishing trip after all, as much as it is a backpacking trip. So do some fishing. Let's replenish some calories with some emergency snacks I got in there. And yeah, I am just in awe at this place right now. Wow. Goat trail snack right here. Definitely got to fuel up for the rest of the day. It's only 9:30 right now. We've already hiked 13,500 steps. Been awake pretty much since yesterday. We had maybe a 2-hour nap on the plane. My body's definitely a little fatigued, but seeing this is all the motivation you need. This looks like our lighter setup. Let's dig out our reel in here. Gonna go with our 4,000 size Shimano Stratic. All right, bingo. We've got 2 new friends joining us now on this leg of the hike. We've got this bamboo cane in our left hand, help us walk. And then now we're equipped with our light tackle setup in case we see something really fishy or see some feeding action going on. This morning our objective was to make it down here to the beach. Now this afternoon we've got a 2.5 mile hike on the sand and across some little jungle outcroppings. Till we get to the spot, we're probably gonna set up camp for the night. But just being out here on the beach is awesome. It is so beautiful out here. We are literally on the edge of the ocean and the jungle. Look at that. That is just wicked. It is so incredibly rare to find trees like this anywhere on Earth, as pretty much everything's already been cut down, forested, developed at some point. But there are some old growth forests left, and this guy is a perfect example. Now we're talking. Look at this structure here on this point. This would be a gnarly little surf break, but we didn't bring a surfboard with us down here. Brought a fishing rod instead, so. This spot is just so ridiculous. Does not even feel like a real place. My back's to a rainforest. In front of me, I'm looking at literally a reef at my feet. Just unreal. Oh, there he is, fish on. As soon as it hit the water. First fish. First fish. What do we got? Oh, it's a little snapper. A little baby snapper. That might be a cubera right there. I think that's a cubera snapper. Well, that is certainly not the size or the way I thought I was gonna catch my first ever cubera snapper, if that is indeed what this guy is right here. But has all the telltale signs of it. That maroonish color, stripes on the side, and a ferocious appetite. And just look at those teeth, even on such a small little fish. All right, Mr. Cubera, thank you for your gentle introduction. Hope to see one of you guys about 10 times the size in a little bit. Bam. Even after all that, kicked off strong. That is normally such a legendary catch for a lot of anglers, as those fish absolutely throw down and they get massive. But that guy was just muy pequeño. On the sand again. I can't wait to be on the sand again. Look at that little crab.
Still hiking over to the beach. We're gonna camp, but I noticed a small stream trickling out into the ocean that way. So I followed it up a little bit and found ourselves a little lagoon here that I'm assuming is mostly, or if not all, freshwater. I guess we'll find out if we're still dehydrated in a couple hours and airlifted out of the jungle. But for now, it's a welcome hydration little pit stop here because I have been sweating all day.
Look, we can get a free pedicure. Damn, that backpack is heavy. So glad to take that off. So, walked over a bit. We got this small little clearing here on the edge of a field and the jungle. So this is pretty much a perfect spot to set up. I see a couple, looks like monkey tracks, hopefully over here. Time to make camp. This will be my first time ever setting up a tent, and first time ever sleeping in a tent. Gonna find out whether I like camping or not the hard way. Well, all right, that didn't turn out too bad right there. She's looking nice and comfy. So let's unzip this here. Now we do have our sleeping pad in our backpack here. First time taking this thing out of the box, and this is a self-inflating heating pad. It's going to expand to, I believe, 2 inches. Please forgive me for my camping narration or lack thereof. It's my first time doing this, so I am just as clueless as I'm sure some of you watching. All right, so let's get in here. Now supposedly this is self-inflating, so it should just start sucking up some air in there. Whew. Busting a sweat out here. We've got about an hour of daylight left here as the sun sets in the jungle behind me. So let's get down here to the water's edge, make some casts. It's crazy to see just how far the water has dropped since I pulled up here and was just relaxing. There's not been a sensational fishing day yet, but we've had to hike quite a bit, and that definitely takes it out of you. All right, this spot really dried up. There is just not even much water to fish. Better to get productively, so let's move. It's so cliche to say that catching a fish is just a bonus, but when you're fishing a place like this, I mean, it's hard to even think about fishing. I would love a coconut right about now. Wonder if we can find one. Yes, this tree has a coconut. Has not fallen yet. Oh. We starved tonight. Oh. One day down on the Osa Peninsula. What a day we've had, folks. And to think this is just the first day of a 5-day trip is pretty incredible. So I'm just really in awe of this adventure so far. I mean, this is where I'm living for the next 5 days. I'm down here in one of the most remote parts of Costa Rica by myself, just going at it. So
I've had a pretty action-packed winter break so far. The week before winter break, I drove down to Louisiana. 2 weeks after that, I drove up to Niagara River where I camped in my truck for 3 days. Then a week after that, I drove up to Maine and did ice fishing for the first time. I've just had this motivation kind of burning inside me for whatever reason the past couple months or so. And it's really just amazing to bring it into fruition. There's 3 things I like to think about when I plan trips like this. The first is opportunity. Do I have the time to do the trip? Is it something feasible that I could make happen? The second is, do I have the ability to do the trip? Am I able to, go backpack? Am I able to go drive that far? Am I able to afford those flights? Am I able to afford the equipment? And then the third is motivation. So motivation, ability, and opportunity. And I think motivation is the important, because you could have the ability to do something, you could have the opportunity to do something, and if you just don't have that motivation to do it, you're just gonna sit there and opportunity is gonna pass by and your ability is gonna wane. So I really try to go about my life just kind of combining all 3, even if it's forced sometimes, and just going after it like this trip right here. I mean, I have literally no idea what I'm doing camping. I've watched only a couple YouTube tutorials. I've talked to some people at REI, my dad's cousin Jeff, shout out to you. I know nothing about Costa Rica. I've watched a few online YouTube videos. Shout out to Outdoor Chronicles for posting some stuff down here on the Osa Peninsula. And I just know nothing about this part of the world. For all intents and purposes, I'm pretty much lost out here, but I have no anxiety out here. I'm not really afraid of anything. I mean, I'm chilling here on the edge of the jungle with Panama in my back view over there and just a gorgeous oceanic flat. So today was just full of just really being in awe, taking in all the landscape, all of the ecosystem around here. There is just so much going on at any given moment, anywhere. And well, the next few days, we're really gonna try to hone in, catch some fish, do some cool activities, and just enjoy our time down here, because this is just such an incredible place. So with that being said, folks, I've been ranting for a while. I'm gonna go lay in my tent. My first night of several sleeping in a tent down here on the Osa Peninsula. Let's tuck in and hopefully have ourselves a good night's sleep. It's gonna be warm, it's gonna be stormy, and I'm covered in dirt and bugs. It's hot. I think it's gotta be like 85 degrees in this tent right now. Could rain tonight, so I'm keeping the rain cover on, but open the hatches a little bit, try to get a little more ventilation. But I am wiped. I think it's probably like 6 p.m. right now, so I gotta be up at 5. I don't know if I'll sleep 11 hours, but see you in the morning. Been a long day. First night in camp was a success. So I got about 10 hours of sleep last night. Did wake up to a rainstorm coming through around 1 a.m. and then at 4:30 there was actually an earthquake. I thought someone was trying to break into my tent, but realized it was just the ground shaking. So a very minor earthquake, not gonna be a tsunami or anything, but that was definitely a little shock this morning, but makes sense. In Central America, there's a lot of volcanic activity, so the ground might shake once in a while. So with that being said, sun just broke the horizon there over the mountains in my distance. We've still got an incredibly low tide as we're approaching full moon. High tide's gonna be in about 4 to 6 hours, I would assume. So we're gonna walk all the way out onto that rocky peninsula and make some casts off of there. And hopefully that exposed ground is gonna allow us to reach some fish that we normally wouldn't be able to. So let's get out there, make some casts. Today's agenda, try to catch some fish this morning. Then we've got a 7-mile hike to our next camp we're gonna spend tonight. Wow, this is just literally like an other world out here. This is where our day begins. A quarter mile from camp on this rocky little peninsula. Gonna start off throwing around this Fishaholic pulsar popper here. See if we can't get some fish to smack a topwater early this morning. Check this guy out. Oh, starfish. That is wicked. Let's get you back in the water, buddy.
All right, good luck. Have a good life. There's a fish. There's a fish. First fish of the day. What do we got here? Little grouper of some sort. Haha. Check this guy out, huh? That is some type of grouper, maybe sea bass there. Really gnarly looking fish. All right, buddy, you're still a little small. Not gonna be breakfast for me. See ya. And that was on the second cast here with this little Rapala X-Wrap. Had one blow up on the popper, but it was pretty small, so switched up to this little guy. And that didn't take long. Almost got thumped there. There he is. Another little guy. Little guy. Same species we just had. One of those small little white speckled grouper. See you, buddy. There we go, got another one. Slightly bigger. Oh yeah, that's the biggest of the day. There we go, third one of these guys for the day right there. Look how beautiful that fish is right there. Those red spines on the top, white dots. And yeah, it's the biggest one of the day. I'm not sure how big these guys get. I'd imagine they'd be pretty good eating if they get a little bit bigger. Fun to stumble upon these little guys. I'll send them back. Boom. Let's go and chill right in that rock. Fun morning, was able to pick up a couple fish off that peninsula there, but no rest for the weary. We've got another 7-mile hike today. So let's get after it early. That sun is blazing out here. It's probably 90 degrees, 0 wind, like 90% humidity. Water is definitely a priority on this hike. And then, you know, just checking out the amazing coastal scenery we have here too. There are dozens of locals here just fishing with their little Cuban yo-yos. Seen a ton of fish caught, so mostly small little snappers and bait fish. It's cool though. This is definitely the hot spot. Oh yes, yes. Never been so happy to see a body of water. Oh, oh my God. All right, it was nice to chill on this bank for a little bit, but this water is very, very still. We're also super close to the ocean, so I don't want to risk this being salt water and end up more dehydrated than I already am. So I'm gonna have to battle the dehydration for now and keep on trekking. Oh, beautiful. Another stream. This one looks way better than that one we just crossed. Que bonita. Oh, it's cold too. Oh, excelente. Oh. Oh, damn it. I think somehow that is salt water. There's no way. I don't know, bro. If it wasn't for these little streams, I'm pretty sure I would have died a while ago, but these things are keeping me alive. Just the tiniest little bit of fresh water. Oh. Wow, just look at this beach. Que bonito. Definitely got to make a couple casts around here just because it's so beautiful. What an unreal little cove to fish. Literally looks like Photoshop between the water, the mountains, and the lush rainforest behind me. There's a fish. That's the best bite of the trip. Smoke that, damn. We just lost him. That drag was super loose too. Oh, I was just saying that was the best bite of the trip. Right there in front of me. Look like a little mackerel or barracuda for sure. Just got actually pummeled. Oh. All right, well, there's a bite. Wow, the beach has definitely changed from the calm, sandy place it was to the edge of the jungle that it is right now. And just like that, we're back to the postcard beach. It's crazy how this beach transforms literally every 100 yards. Unreal. Bien? Así, así. Buenos días. Oh, wow. We're putting some serious sweat into reaching these spots, but these beaches and this coastline is so incredible. Oh. Calm and tranquil on this side, and my biggest daunting challenge yet on this side. Sitting down, taking our 43rd rest of the hike. Just ahead of me there is the most challenging obstacle yet of this backpacking mission. We've got almost strictly vertical cliffs where the jungle directly meets the ocean, so I either A, have to hike up this cliff right here, try to find a trail, march through the jungle to the road and go around, or since it's low tide, what I'm gonna try to do is navigate around the cliffs and scale the rocks to get onto the other side. So sitting down now, getting fueled up on some water. We've only got about an hour of sunlight left, and we're still a mile away from where I want to set up camp for tonight. So the only way to go is through. Now this is another world. Literally where the jungle meets the ocean. How cool is that? Check out these Costa Rican crabs. Oh, check that out. Little isopod right there. All right, threading the needle. This is wicked in here. Oh, there we go. Careful, Dylan. Careful, careful, careful. We might have reached our dead end. You know, if I didn't have this backpack, I could scale that cliff, but if I try to go up there, it's probably not gonna end very well. Damn. Dead end it is. There's no way I can go any farther out without drowning probably, so gotta hit the reverse button. Just had to backtrack a little bit. Shout out to someone's backyard for the steps and the beach right here. Bonito. This place is just magical. Some local panga fishermen out there. Guess this is probably a good spot to fish tomorrow. Day 2 backpacking down here in Costa Rica is a wrap. Just set up tent here in the dark. Didn't record any of the tent build as it is dark outside. So night 2 sleeping in a tent here on the beach in Costa Rica. Last night was a pretty restless sleep. I was able to get some Z's in, slept for like 11 hours. So I'm sure tonight will be the same thing. Today we walked almost 8 miles, an even harder hike from yesterday, especially with that backpack and sore legs. We traversed some pretty gnarly terrain, scoped out some pretty cool spots we're probably gonna fish tomorrow. So tomorrow is day 3. Time to do some fishing, do some real exploring. Gonna try and enjoy the spot where we got base camp for now. And yeah, stay tuned. I'll catch you in the morning. Buenos dias. It is a gorgeous morning down here on the beach where we set up camp last night. So a pretty restless night of sleep. Woke up to the astronomical high tide, literally hitting my tent way back there against the jungle wall. I did not realize the tides were that insane down here at the equator, but there's a 9-foot tide swing currently, as you can clearly see by low tide this morning. So with that being said, we have camp set up for today as well as tomorrow, so no backpacking on the agenda today. I couldn't go much farther if I wanted to. That giant cliff face right there is gonna stop me from any further progress. So now we get to stay in one spot and enjoy what the Osa Peninsula has to offer. So we got a rod rigged up this morning, walking down now to one of these little rocky points. We're gonna make some casts and hopefully put some fish on the surf. Gonna start this morning throwing the same combo we've been throwing this whole time. Our light spinning combo, and then we have our little Yozori Crystal Minnow 4-inch model on there as well. So we're just gonna be blind casting where these waves are crashing into these rocks, and there should definitely be some hungry fish around. We haven't really hardcore fished yet all this trip just because I've been backpacking for the most part. So let's give it a couple casts and see if we can't tangle into some Pacific beasts. There's a fish. There's a fish right there, a little guy. Oh, that's a new species for us there. Well, that didn't take long at all to get our first fish right there. Super cool colored up little fish right there. That guy is neat. What a neat looking fish. All right, send you back to the safety of the tide pool, buddy. Boom. First fish of the day right there. Another new species for the trip. These fish are all so colored up and have such cool patterns on them. I'll have to go sit down later and do some fish IDing, but right now, just nice to get on the board. Second cast, already got 1 fish under our belt for the day. Oops, got hit right there too. There we go, there's a fish. Oh, that guy smoked it. Definitely a nicer fish there. Nicer fish. Oh, he pulled. No. Damn. That was a much better fish right there. A fish? We got a fish there. Oh, that's a nice fish. Oh, yeah. That'll be the biggest. Oh, one of those of the day. I did not even feel that guy hit. So check that out. What a bizarre looking fish. Wow. Just a cool looking fish. All right, see you, buddy. That guy hit right, literally at my feet on the edge of these rocks. We walked out a bit from where we started, probably another good 30 yards or so. Definitely a lot of life out here off this rocky point. Oh, there's a fish. That's a good bite. Good bite. Come on, stay glued. Big fish, big fish. Big fish. What do we got? Is that a jack? Gotta keep that drag light, because we don't have very heavy test on here. Big bite though. Yeah, a little jack. Woo! Check that guy out. That is awesome. Woo! Look at that blue. I think that's a bluefin trevally there. So cool. Another new species for the trip. I believe that is a bluefin trevally, as you can tell by that really cool iridescent blue on the top half of his body right there. Definitely in the jack family. I imagine these guys taste pretty good, so we're gonna keep this guy and he's gonna be our breakfast. I'm definitely pretty malnourished out here, so this guy will bring me the protein and omega-3 I most desperately need. But yeah, check out that fish. So cool. Not a monster, but the biggest fish of the trip thus far. And we'll get some good fillets out of this guy. So this morning's dish is gonna be some fresh bluefin trevally nigiri. Again, just look how beautiful that fish is. Those colors are unreal. Some fresh sushi caught from that ocean behind me just a couple minutes ago. Can't really beat it. Because we kept that trevally raw, it should contain just a little bit more water content, which is exactly what I need because I am incredibly thirsty. Check this guy out, huh? Whoa. I'm just walking down the beach to try to find some water here and just stumbled upon what I think is a boa constrictor that was just mangled by some type of animal. I don't know if it died naturally or a hawk got him or what, but I almost stepped on that thing. It was pretty camouflaged. Thankfully, it's not gonna be any harm to me now, but wow. That's the first snake I've seen of the trip. Not alive, but what a gnarly creature. Check this guy out. Whoa. That is my first ever anteater I've ever seen. Just sitting in my tent here having some R&R, and that guy just strolled right on by. That was so cool. That's the closest mammal encounter I've had this entire trip. And the third mammal I've seen, that was pretty cool. The leisure of not having to backpack 8 miles with 55 pounds strapped on my back today is definitely becoming apparent. It is a gorgeous day to enjoy the beach out here. We've got crystal clear Pacific water. And yeah, it is definitely a great day to go for a swim. Woo! What a view this is. Jungle behind me, Pacific Ocean in front. I don't know if life gets much better than this. Que muy bonito. Oh, big swell. Woo! Woo! Huh. Loco! Woo. That wave was gonna take me out. I'm not gonna let that happen. So that life straw we've been using to filter water we've collected at small stream is starting to fail on us. So that could literally mean death out here by myself in the remote jungle. So I'm pretty sure what happened is yesterday we accidentally filled it up in a brackish water lagoon because I tasted a little bit of salt, and I'm pretty sure that salt somehow clogged the filters, or maybe just because we've been using it so much that filter got clogged naturally by a bunch of biological matter and whatnot. So while I was out there swimming, I noticed there was a waterfall in this corner, and because this waterfall is flowing through dense vegetation, going down a 100-foot drop off and has a lot of velocity, I feel like it's pretty safe for me to just fill up my water bottle here and drink it. I'm sure it's definitely not straight pure water that I'm drinking right now, but we can deal with those problems when we get back to the States in a couple of days. As for now, we got to stay hydrated. I felt incredibly dehydrated all day, which is why I was very lax, very chill this morning. Was not doing much, haven't been able to eat the past couple of days because I've been so dehydrated. If we're gonna risk a little stomach bug, stay hydrated and not die out here, I think it's a valid risk. So let's refuel and continue the adventure. Muy bueno. Woo! Pura vida, baby! I'm feeling super refreshed and re-energized. This is the most energy I've had all trip. So it's just about noon right now. We had a great morning just chilling out, caught some fish, had a nice breakfast, got some water. Now we're headed back out to sea. Gonna try to take advantage of this high tide here, which I'm hoping has pushed some fish in. While I was swimming earlier, when the camera was off, I saw either a mackerel or a rooster fish cruise right in the crest of one of these waves, maybe 200 yards offshore. So there's a rock about 150 yards out there in the ocean. I'm gonna swim out to that rock. We got our waterproof install here, and we're gonna cast off that rock and hopefully pull into some bigger fish. So far this trip, it's been mostly pequeño pesca, smaller fish. But this afternoon, I'd really like to hone in on some bigger fish and really get this trip banging. So, vamos a nadar. The hardest part is just gonna be getting out past this break right here and not getting pinned against these rocks. Woo. Oh yeah. We made it. I'm on the farthest rock that I can see around this entire little mouth of the fjord right here. And well, let's get to fishing. The audio's probably a little clogged with water, but throwing out this Hoagie epoxy jig. Let's give it a rip. Oh, there's a fish. First cast. First cast. Whew. Caught a couple of these guys this morning. This is actually a giant hawkfish. Very cool looking fish. Oh, there we go, dropped him. Quick release. Oh, gotta follow. What is that? Bluefin trevally right here. Got them all fired up now. Look at them all. Look at all the bluefin trevallies. Fish right there at my feet. Another one of these guys. Giant hawkfish. Such cool looking fish. So aggressive too. So that was a fun, quick marine mission right there. Unfortunately, no giant fish out on that boulder, but we were able to land another one of those hawkfish. We did have some giant fish follow our bait right up to the rock, but they were a bit finicky. Right now, we're gonna trek about a mile to my west. We saw some really gnarly looking cliffs yesterday, and I think that could be a good shot at landing some bigger fish that we're in pursuit of right now. So stay tuned. I'll catch you at the spot. The weight of faith here. This doesn't look that deep. Getting anywhere down here is no easy task, but we just climbed our way on top of this other rocky point right here, and as you can see, it is ultra deep on the edge right there. Gonna start off by throwing around this Nomad Vertrex here, an aggressive bait that definitely should get these fish chewing if it gets in their face. Let's get the casting and hopefully tangle into some beast here off the Costa Rican rocks. There's a fish. Big fish. Unless that's grass. Not fighting like at all. Oh, I think he was snagged in the grass. Oh, we snagged, what the heck? Oh, check that out. Thought we had ourselves a monster there. Just this curious triggerfish who realized that Vertrex is way too big for him to eat. Check that fish out though, so gorgeous looking. Beautiful, beautiful fish. Not the monster snapper or grouper I was looking for, but another new species for a trip right there. Send him back. See you, buddy. Ooh. There we go. Fish on. Oh yeah. Oh, what is that? New grouper species. First cast, this Yozori crystal minnow here. Picked up another little species of grouper there. Oh, all these fish down here are just so cool looking. See you, buddy. Still not much in the way of size, but even just catching these small fish, because they're so new to me, is all the fun I need. GoPro just died, but we got smoked up top here. This is a big old houndfish, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, just spit it right there. Decided to throw on the popper here, and we just got smoked by a Pacific houndfish. That was awesome. Definitely the little boost energy I needed. Holy, I feel like death. I mean, I really have not ate in days. Dude, I do not feel good at all.
I am really starting to feel the effects of backpacking just on day 3 here. My energy is just completely gone. Normally I'm an unstoppable force. I can run on no sleep, no food, no water, and I'll be just fine, but it's really starting to take its toll today. I hydrated this morning and put the most calories in my system I have all trip, but just swimming around, fishing all day, walking around has just burnt what little energy I had left. So fishing on that point right there at sunset, I really just felt myself crash. I could not make any more casts, just to sit down. Even talking to the camera, my head is just way more empty than it normally is. It's definitely due to malnutrition and dehydration. I've only caught and ate 1 fish, which is that trevally I had this morning. And in addition to that, I've just had some snacks, some fig bars, some Cliff Bars, and some nuts to keep me going. And that is just not enough. Additionally, I keep running out of water here. I just ran down to the waterfall under the night sky to fill up our water bottles for the night. But I definitely have just not been fueling myself up enough. Nonetheless, though, we still had a fun day of activities today. Tomorrow is our 4th and final full day down here in Costa Rica before I got to get out of here on Tuesday. Definitely going to make the most of it. Got some fun activities planned, but we got to make sure to stay on top of our of eating and drinking. So with that being said, folks, tonight is the first night we're going with no rain cover out here. I'm way more concerned with having a decently ventilated night's sleep than I am with any animals or a chance of rain. And our biggest concern tonight is going to be that full moon high tide, which almost flooded us last night. So I'm gonna get some shut-eye. It's been another long day down here in Costa Rica. Another beautiful day though. Pura vida. I'll see you in the morning. I'm gonna miss this view. Waking up every morning to a sunrise over the mountains on the horizon while the jungle erupts in life behind me here is just a magical experience. Probably my favorite part of each day is the sunrise. It is just so unbelievably gorgeous. Makes you forget about the dehydration, sunburn, and a sore body. But today is our final day here in Costa Rica. We have a flight out of Puerto Jimenez at 5 p.m. today, which means we do have some time for activities this morning, but we're gonna have to get back on the backpacking trail sometime around noon if we wanna make it to the airport on time. So it's been a truly incredible trip so far. Let's make the most of it this morning. We're gonna start off today by making some casts around that giant bluff in my background, and then I might even do some snorkeling to cool off before we get to backpack and get out of here. So let's get out there and seize the day. Wow. It is so cool to see those scarlet macaws here in the wild. Hopefully I didn't offend him talking back, but the fact that something is naturally colored like that is just insane. And they are all over the place, just flying up and down the beach all day long. Here we are at the base of this giant gorge, and right around this corner, this giant cliff face wraps around and creates a big rocky point where there are some loose boulders just hanging out. So gonna do what we did yesterday, swim out to the rocks, make a bunch of casts off it, hopefully have some better luck today. So time for a little bit of swishing this morning. Whoa, check out this beach in here. Whoa. This is wicked. Check out this cave here, carved just by that ocean back there. You can imagine the force of some of these waves that chip away all this rock over thousands, maybe millions of years. So cool. Now for the fun part. Oh yeah. Woo!
Just cut my hand on a sea urchin. We're gonna pause this trip for now until I cut this thing out. Not sure if those sea urchins are venomous, but I do not feel like dying by one of those. That got me a little nervous there for a second, but we cut the spine out of our thumb, and I'm pretty sure the sea urchin that I grabbed on accident is not a venomous one. That being said, though, there are a lot of sea urchins here, and some of them could be deadly, so I just gotta exercise extreme caution when climbing up these rocks. Whoa! Whoa! Check this out. This is so cool. Wow, look at all these crabs. Wow. This is amazing. I had no idea this even existed over here. Oh my gosh. Wow. Just amazing. That cliff is probably 300 feet high. Look at all these small little waterfalls. All we had to do was swim around a small corner. This is why you explore new spots. Even if a sea urchin pricks you in the finger, just keep pushing, because look at this beautiful gorge that I never would have knew existed. Wow. There's so many little bait fish in here. So the waters here get pretty rough. I'm not gonna risk having the GoPro on my head in case I get smacked by a wave, but we gotta swim maybe 50 yards that way, and there's a single rock that's poking up above the water. Well, that one is bad as well, as you can expect. Those waves out there were serious, and that current was strong, so try to get up on that rock out there, and a big wave came, threw me off the rock, landed on the vertex here, and now we got a hook in our finger. So I'm just glad I was able to swim back. It's literally like a washing machine out there, so time to do some surgery. That's a pain. Come on out. You finally got this treble pain out of my finger. Just had to use the pliers and fatigue that barb off there, then slide it right out of my hand. It wasn't in there too deep, but I tried to just yank it right out, and that didn't feel too good. It was definitely too deep for me just to pull out, so that fall beat me up pretty well. We almost had it too. The current there was just so strong. I couldn't really fight against it, and you saw when I tried to grab onto a rock earlier, I got pricked by one of the sea urchins, which is also not what I want to do. So I'm pretty bummed we couldn't get out on that rock and make some casts. It looks so promising, but yeah, nature had other plans, so I am not giving up fishing on that note though today. Let's get our finger fixed and get out there and make some casts. Oh, that was a good bite. There he is. There he is. Oh, yeah. Nice hawkfish there. Oh, crap. There we go. Another lovely little hawkfish right there. These guys are the most common catch we've got around these rocky boulder fields, and they are definitely not shy to hit artificial. Just such gorgeous, gorgeous colors on that fish, and that is a decent specimen there for us this trip too. Let's get back to our rock out there. The tide started to come in. We probably have Just enough time for one more fish. I already had to abandon ship once with that big wave coming in when I caught that hawkfish. Oh, come on, break. Break, 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 break. There's a fish. Oh. There we go. That's a few too many wipeouts in the surf with those waves coming in and just sweeping me off my feet. Almost lost my shoe there for a second, but thankfully the wave just pushed it right to shore. So we don't have much time left today till we got to pack up and hit the road. But I do want to throw the goggles and snorkel on and go for a little bit of a swim just to see what fish are lurking around these rocks here that weren't eager to bite the hook. So let's go. That was a fun final swim down here on the Osa Peninsula. The water was a little bit murky just because all the wave action on those rocks, but didn't see much in waves of fish. Saw a couple reef fish. It was definitely nice to just cool off there before we hike. So the time has come for us to pack up our camp here. It's been a magical 2 days. This trip is far from over. We still have 10 miles to get back to Puerto Jimenez for my flight in a couple hours. So let's pack up our tent and hit the road. All right, time for us to deconstruct our bed over here. I'm gonna link all the gear in the description. Really have no complaints about anything on this trip, especially for a first-time camper. All the gear held up well, especially this tent. Huge shout out to the North Face Storm Break. The tide came up last night all the way up to here, and this thing was combating waves that were a good, 8 inches tall. So I'm definitely pleased that we didn't have to wake up in the middle of the night and move our tent or get soaked in our sleep. Very easy, sturdy construction, would highly recommend. And no, nothing in this video is sponsored, by the way. And we're back on the move. Farewell camp. It's been real, truly one of the most beautiful places I have ever been. Just such a diverse ecosystem and plenty of stuff to do, but we've got to be 10 miles that way in about 5 hours. So this backpack definitely did not get any lighter. I'm gonna make my way to the road and hopefully a good Samaritan picks me up and I can hitchhike to the airport, but we still got about 1.5 miles of backpacking till then. Adios la playa. Really sucks to leave this place. We're back in the jungle. Check that out. Spider monkey. That's wicked. What's up, bro? Yo. That's so cool. Look at him. Just swinging. That is so sweet. Another mammal species spotted down here in Costa Rica. That was a spider monkey for sure. It's pretty cool when you're commuting to the airport Looks like a zoo. We made it out here to the highway. Had to take a quick refreshment break. Most of that trail was uphill. It is hot. I'm pretty gassed. But ideally, someone is also going to be going to the airport driving down this road. So we're going to keep on walking towards Puerto Jimenez. Hopefully a good Samaritan comes and lets us hop in the back and we don't get murdered. All right, we're already running on borrowed time, but there's no way I could pass up stopping by this little joint on the side of the jungle trail. And I'm starving, so this is much needed. ¿Puedo tener quesadilla y mahi-mahi? ¿Con mahi-mahi?
Claro.
Bien. Muchas gracias. Ahí hablo poquito español, lo siento. Muchas gracias. This is the coldest thing I've had to drink in 5 days. It's so delicious. Fresh mango smoothie. We missed our flight. It was worth it. Check that out. Spider monkeys jumping around while I'm getting lunch. Oh, he's got a baby on his back. That is so cool. Beautiful. Oh, this is about to be the best meal I've had in almost a week. That is unreal good. So delicious. Muy delicioso, gracias. Fresh caught mahi, super fresh vegetables. And delicious cheese. This is one of the best quesadillas I've ever had. And it's probably not just a starvation talking. Very good. Oh, that was a much needed final supper here. As we try to find our way to the airport. Just walked by this sign and I said, there's no way I can pass a restaurant without getting something to eat and a drink, because it has been a while and I just want to try some of that Costa Rican cuisine. So now we're all fueled up. Let's hope we can hitch a ride to Puerto Jimenez, make our plane on time. Hola. Necesito ir a Puerto Jimenez. Oh.
¿En moto?
¿Sí? No necesito.
¿Desde dónde viene? Listo. Go.
Bueno, mucho gusto. Mira, mira.
Ya. Camina al otro lado del puente.
Crossing over a little river here. Too dangerous for both of us to go, so gotta walk across. Gracias. Pueden ir tranquilo. Aquí.
Aeropuerto.
Muchas gracias. Ay. All right, huge shout out to my moped friend. Not only did we get here on time, we got here early enough that they bumped me up to the next flight. So we're getting on the 3:30 flight now instead of the 5 o'clock flight. And yeah, this day is going great. Just like that, over as quick as it started. Adios, Osa.
So our Costa Rica adventure did not end after we departed the Osa Peninsula and landed back in San Jose. Because we caught the early flight, we were still a day early to our flight departing out of San Jose to get us back to Fort Lauderdale. So we had another 18 hours chilling in San Jose before we could get back to the States. So I was pretty bored and incredibly hungry, so I walked around the San Jose airport looking for any little restaurants that were open late at night and ended up running into this taxi driver here, who after some brief bilingual communication, we decided to go head out to a restaurant in San Jose. And it was a super neat side quest to just stumble out of the airport and end up 15 minutes in the inner city. And then once we got back to the airport, we had to settle in for the night. We were homeless for just one more day, sleeping in the San Jose International Airport. Thankfully, had all my camping stuff with me, so it was a pretty comfortable night's sleep, despite some strange stares from some strangers. But once we woke up, we got another bite to eat, enjoyed the airport, and then touched back down in the States. And well, here we are back in the United States. I'm currently sitting in my room here in Tuscaloosa, finally finishing up this YouTube video that has taken me on quite the adventure, from planning to filming, experiencing the Osa Peninsula, and then the couple weeks it has taken me to edit this video. So hopefully you folks enjoyed this video. This was definitely a unique experience for me. 5 days down in Costa Rica, never before been out of the country, never before camped, never before backpacked, and just ran into so many new, unique experiences. And I can't stress enough how amazing of a trip that was. So with that being said, folks, I'm gonna sign off here. This video has already gone on long enough, over an hour long here. So until next time, I have some pretty gnarly trips planned for the future, and I really love the whole survival / fishing combination. So with that being said, folks, if you want to support the channel, you can like the video, subscribe to the channel. Also, you can buy any merch I have linked below. It really helps support the channel and fund these trips, and I appreciate that very much. So with that being said, folks, I will catch you folks in the next one. Pura vida. Adios. Hasta luego.